said, the future is now, and the future is a potential bear market or correction. Ugh, don't really want to go there, but if we're going there, I'm not going to be sunk. Okay? So, anyway, I want to talk about some different things here. First of all, we have the SI chart. Let's just get started to the positions. I have 100 shares of SI. I'm not pulling them off the table. I'm not going to do anything with them. I think the chart's solid, the company's solid. They could get taken down if the market gets pulled back, but I'm not too worried about it because it's a very small percentage of the portfolio. Now, Google. You can see Google in after hours bounced up about 860, but it got hammered today, like the whole market. Obviously, if anybody watched the market, it got crushed for 1,000 points, which it's been a while since that's happened. Okay, now, so not going to do anything with Google. Google's pretty much just going to be sitting there. Space, however, Space is different. Space, I've got 300 shares, and it's up $1 in after hours, so that's good. So it looks like it's going to bounce back potentially on Tuesday, but I'm not counting on that regardless. I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen. Tomorrow's going to be really interesting no matter what because they have the earnings report right after the closing bell. So I'm going to be following that. I'm not even sure exactly how to follow that. I'm going to have to look that up. I think we can check that right on their website. But anyway, I don't plan on doing anything. I'm not going to sell any of the shares of Space, and I'm not going to put any more on going into earnings. It's a small percentage. We already took off the profits, so now we're riding on house money on that one. So even if it pulls down, here's what I plan to do. If it has, no matter what the earnings report has, I don't care what the earnings says. If the stock goes down after earnings for whatever reason, then we'll probably buy in another 1, 2, 300 or more wherever it drops to. Now, if it goes up, same thing. If it goes up like $5 or $10 a share after earnings, we will probably buy 1, 2, or 300 more shares once the potential flag kind of evens out after it breaks up. So that's my plan of attack on Space. Okay, not doing anything with the 300 shares. Going to take the hit if it drops, and going to buy more to cost average. So let's say it drops from 34 to 35 to 25. Okay, then we buy 300 at 25, we cost average in around 30. So as long as the stock gets up to about 30, we're good to go. You see what I'm saying? So I'm going to cost average low. Up high will be kind of the same thing, and we'll keep adding and adding and adding for the next couple months, potentially on Virgin Galactic. Now, if we go over to Tesla, okay, Tesla is up $4 in after hours, so very minor little bounce. So Tesla, you remember I said, well, I may not trade Tesla. Well, that's assuming a kind of bull market. Now, in a bear market, it's a little bit different. Okay, you know, we're in at about 140, not about. We're in exactly 140 shares long right now. So I definitely do not want to give back any profits. I don't want to give that back. I would rather put it this way, if this makes sense. I would rather not make any money than lose it or give it back. Okay, so if it pops up to 850, 900 or whatever, that's fine. But if it the market turns over, it's coming down and it may come down to 400 or 500. And the reason I can say that with confidence is because I saw it with Apple. Apple went from 165 to 202. I dropped out of it about 195, 197 because I saw the market turning over. Well, Apple dropped from 197 down to 90 a share. Nothing was wrong with the company. We didn't have any virus scares or anything. We just had the global recession from the mortgage, and that brings down everything. It doesn't just bring one thing down. So the situation for me would be to buy in cheaper, buy in at 600, buy in at 700, buy in at 400, whatever. The point is buy in cheaper. So if it has a bounce, you know, there may be a good potential for me to snatch the bounce, hang tight, see if the market corrects, watch it correct and see what's going on, and put it in something that may be working, like gold, which we actually added gold today. We added 7K in gold. That's a It's almost like a hedge. It's like a basic defensive strategy. I'm putting gold on, so if the market goes down, the gold goes up, so I don't have as much losses on the actual equity, the tech stocks. So anyway, that goes over, let's see, SI, Google, Space, and Tesla, and gold. So, and you can see as far as, I'll go to the space chart right here, and let's see what's going on with space. So space is tricky, of course. I mean, we sold out at 32, bought back, we had 650 shares. So we sold 350 of them off. We really sold them all off and then bought back 300 of them right at the low. Where was that low? It was, I think it was literally right here at the bottom. Maybe it was 32. I thought it was 31.70. Anyway, so, and then we bought back in and we've been camping them, and they went down and they went back up, and now it's kind of back down. So, and this is just going into earnings. So this is our kind of core position, meaning we could hold 300 shares for the whole year. And I don't have to worry about it day to day. I'm not really that concerned. Yeah, even if the earnings, they go down, holding those 300 shares, I expect them to be higher than 25 or 30. So I'm not super worried about it. Okay, and I don't think the virus really affects this company as much as it affects other companies that actually have, what do you call it, the manufacturing supply chain issues. I mean, yeah, I'm sure they would have supply chain issues, but it's not like they're building 100 ships right now and they're going to have to worry about getting all the materials for the 100 ships. No, they're not worried about that. So I don't think that's going to phase in. Hopefully, the whole virus issue kind of plays out within the next month or so, and it doesn't completely do destruction to the entire market. Anyway, so let's switch over to Tesla really quick and go over Tesla and see what's going on. Obviously, it got hit for 7.5% today. That's a huge drop, but all of it pretty much gapped down. Okay, and then it took, and then it bounced a little bit. But anyway, you can see, oh, let me blow this up a little bit. So here's what we got. I mean, it's literally holding the level barely. Let me put it on the candlestick view so it makes a little more sense. Okay, so you can see bounce here, bounce up here multiple times. It's really trying to hang on. So, and there's the moving average. There's your 50-day moving average. So if it bounces that, granted, I think I'm on the 10-day, but anyway, if it bounces that, most likely it bounces and kicks down. And if it breaks this, if it breaks into the 830s, it could be breaking down into the 750s. I am not going to be in Tesla if it's going from here down. Okay, I do not want to be involved in this. Okay, because then it's going to have to retest down here. Okay, don't want to get involved in that. And then it bounces down. I don't want to see that. And it's not Tesla. It's not the company's fault. It has nothing to do with the company. This is the market pulling down everybody. Okay, so speaking of the market, let's just switch over to the market real quick with $DJI. Okay, which is the Dow. You know, some people follow the S&P or the Dow, whatever. I usually follow the Dow. Now, well, this is scary. Okay, let me get off of this one. Let me go to 3 months so we can see what's going on. You can see it blasted through the 50 like it wasn't even there. Okay, that's not good. And this is what I put is like, this could potentially happen. It usually gets a dead cat bounce, bounces up to the 50, kicks down, and then people start buying in as it's going down. But I'm not saying this is going to happen. I'm saying the probability that this happens is more likely than the probability of it shooting up to 30,000 plus during the midst of all the fears of the coronavirus. Okay, and the outbreak and how it keeps spreading and it's not being contained, you know. So anyway, speaking of the coronavirus, I might as well bring that up. Okay, I have a contact in China, okay, affected by a novel coronavirus in Wuhan. Our government announced delay resumption of work back to the 18th or the 26th. Okay, blah, blah, blah. I said, be careful, be safe, all that stuff. Waiting for reply. Okay, that was a few weeks ago. And then we got this today, this morning. I just placed an order. Let's say, dear, we can ship the goods out now, but shipping speed more slow than before. And also, there are many items out of stock, blah, blah, blah. If you have any questions, speak to you tomorrow. Now, let's see if I've got one more here. Thought I had one more here. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Anyway, the bottom line. Oh, here we go. Here's the last one. Sorry about that. Chinese government has basically got the virus under control. There has been no new infections in Shenzhen, where she works near Hong Kong. Okay, that's where she ships out all her products. Okay, with the exception of Wuhan, most other cities are on a downtrend. Shenzhen has 417 people and 249 have been cured. I don't know about curing that. I think she's a little confused there. There is no cure for this. Okay, let's see. Almost every day in Shenzhen, more than a dozen people are discharged from the hospital. So that's good. But I think people are being super cautious. This is also 1,000 miles away from Wuhan. So it's not right in their back door. But anyway, that's my inside information on the coronavirus. Let's split that off of there. Go back to the Dow. Either way, bottom line, the Dow got hit, broke the 50. Actually, let's pop the 200. Let's see how far away from this 200 we are. I want to be out of the market before we cross below the 200. I always get out before we cross the 200 because there's a million signs saying, hey, time to bail for safety. You know, this is why we added the gold position back. I did a video on gold not too long ago. You guys can go check that one out. 2 or 3 weeks ago, I was preparing for our, basically our parachutes into gold. I was preparing for that. So check that one out. It's only got a few views. I mean, it's got like a couple hundred views because nobody was caring anything about gold back then. They were talking about gold all day today. Big surprise because it was up. It works inversely to the market. Market goes down, gold goes up. And gold's been going up for a couple months now. So that's a sign too that, potentially, we've got something coming around the corner with the markets. And remember, the markets have been up for years now. So anyway, there's the Dow. What else are we going to see? We talked about the Dow space. We can click on the SI chart really quick, which is Silvergate Capital. I talked about the video here. This is basically it's a bank that deals with digital currency exchange network, which is I think the future. You can see here that it kicked down and it did not want to break. It did not want to break that support, but the market tried to pin it. You can see it. You can see it wick down here. I mean, that's pretty. I mean, you can see where this one's going. Okay, I expect this one to bounce tomorrow too. But I mean, if the Dow pulls down, the Dow will pull this one down, and it'll go back in its channel. It'll be back in here. It'll definitely be back in here if the Dow pulls it down. But so anyway, I'm not going to do too much with that right this minute. I'll update you guys on that when I do anything with that. Mainly it's Tesla because Tesla is a bulk of our position and we are going to maintain those profits. I'm less concerned about not making money than losing it. You have to protect it. And if you just do things right. Anyway, here's my Twitter account in case I changed it to @future_is_NOWW. So we post a lot of videos and stuff here too, and we just started it not too long ago, so it's super new. But anyway, I mean, it's one way if you guys are Twitter fans or whatever, you can always check it out and be sure to follow it there, and then you can see stuff on Twitter, And I was just checking out Consumer Reports because they came out positive on Tesla, but believe me, the market pulled down everybody. So it doesn't matter how good, how good your company is if the market comes down. I saw that with Apple. I saw the warning signs, and I'm seeing the warning signs here. I'm not panicked. I'm not afraid. I don't have fear of anything. I'm just trying to play the game correctly and do the right thing to maintain the profits and be making money when the market's going down, not losing it and just waiting for it to correct for months upon months. Or potentially. Okay. Anyway, here's our my email. So if you guys want to contact email and get spreadsheets for anything, I send spreadsheets for Robotaxi, for the Spice stuff, sorry, this Virgin Galactic spreadsheet or whatever. So if you guys want a spreadsheet, it's Tesla 2021 at Gmail, Tesla stock 2021 at gmail.com. Sorry about that. Anyway, so that pretty much wraps it up, but I definitely wanted to, do a different video and go blast a quick video so you guys can see what I'm planning. Because right now things are happening really fast. I mean, the market went down 750 before it opened. The futures were down about 750. I mean, I'm up at like 6:30, 6 in the morning checking to see what the futures are, and I was like, oh boy, we're in for a ride here. So anyway, that's the story on that. If there's any questions you guys have, comments or anything, feel free to post them.